Real quick before we get into the podcast, I know that's what you're here for. I just want a quick disclaimer. There's technical difficulties in this podcast. It's the first one I've ever filmed. The entire thing pretty much is out of focus, but your guys get used to it after a little bit. And then also the audio is cutting back and forth from the camera and the mic audio just because at some points the mic audio was just reaching the peaks and it was like sounding really bad. So I in those parts I cut back to the audio of the camera itself. But the content of this episode was great. Kevin was a great guest on the show. Hope you guys enjoy it. And hopefully this is the worst technical podcast that we'll have. So hope you guys enjoy.
12 inches in a foot,
12 months in a year,
12 zodiac signs,
Jesus' 12 apostles,
King Arthur's 12 knights at the round table,
and Lucas's 12 groomsmen. Welcome everyone to the inaugural episode of 12 Delves, where I, Lucas Smith, your host and soon-to-be married man, lead my guests, one of my 12 groomsmen, into a deeper dive of our relationship through different topics, games, and a little bit of drinking. Joining me today is Mr. Mom himself, Kevin Trujillo. Kevin is a college football recruiting enthusiast by day and ultimate prestige grandmaster smite player by night. So let's start this off with a shot before we get into it.
It's supposed to be secret.
Oh,
Cheers,
man.
buddy.
This is a scary shot. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how does that feel?
Not good.
Okay. All right. So pretty much, I spoke to you earlier about how I want this to be. The couple things that I'm taking into my mind while we're doing this.
Okay.
I want to be as authentic as I can, so I'm trying not to be like a character of myself. I want to just have a conversation.
Okay.
Want you to feel comfortable. Do the same.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I'm a little less comfortable after
Yeah. No, you think so?
the fuel we just ingested.
that hurt your chances of being comfortable here?
Oh, man. Qué rico.
So that camera right there is not there. We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
We're talking about our relationship.
Starting off with how we met. This is going to be a little bit different for us because I don't remember how we met because it was before I was born. My first question to you, do you...
So we met before you were born.
Yeah, you were already ready for me. Whether you remember it or not, you were. But do you at all remember my birth or...
Any of my
Your
baby
birth?
interactions?
Definitely not. Baby interactions. Man, I don't know about baby interactions, but I feel like the farthest back that I can remember probably is when you guys lived in that townhouse.
Uh-huh. In Lakes of the Meadow?
I think so. Obviously you were really little back then, but I feel like that's my first
General memory of me?
is the townhouse.
You don't remember my birth?
No.
How old were you when
I
I
didn't
was
have
born?
the pleasure of
You weren't,
being in the
you weren't in the room?
in the
delivery
OR.
room?
No.
How old were you when I was born? I was born in 1999.
Yeah, I
April.
was 4.
Okay. So yeah, you
So,
wouldn't remember that.
No.
I was going to say, because I remember Kelly's, but I was like 7 or 8, so that's different.
Yeah.
Well, my earliest memories of you, again, it's like I've known you since I was born, so it's nothing specific, but in general, just like going to either your house and playing like under the stairs where you guys had all those movies
Yes.
and like looking at those movies, or you guys had under the
We
like
still have them.
like a little Harry Potter
Mhm.
room you guys had there. And I remember looking at like all the games you guys had in there and stuff like that.
We did.
And then on top of that, I remember just being at like your grandparents' house or your house watching football. And I specifically remember you and your dad like always getting super upset watching the Dolphins or the Hurricanes.
Not much has changed.
Something like that, exactly. But I think that's contributed a bit to how much I love the Gators, or I have loved the Gators my whole life, because obviously my parents, like being, my dad especially being like a huge Gator fan, contributed to that, of course. But like seeing the intensity that you and your dad like gave like caring about a sport or something, like I think what's the word, like
me not realizing it, like subconsciously or whatever, like I saw that and I was like, oh, that's how you're supposed to be with sports.
It's true. I mean, you are. I don't know any other way.
And since then, like I feel like since I was little, I was always like I've always hated Hurricane fans, especially when I was younger. It was always just like, you guys are so obnoxious.
You're so nice.
No, I don't know about that. You guys are so obnoxious, and it was like you specifically were like the fucking king of being obnoxious.
Good.
So I feel like that fueled my like, all right, I gotta be obnoxious.
when we're doing good and like when we're winning and when something good happens to us, or root against UM like all the time or whatever. So yeah, my earliest memories all have to do kind of with that,
Makes sense.
with sports and just hanging out at your house and like I don't even remember and doing anything specific. You know, one of the specific games that I remember, which is like super random, I was probably like 8 or 9, so I was like old enough to like play a board game with rules, but not old enough to understand Risk. And you guys brought out like a game of Risk. And I remember being like super confused and like dumbfounded. There was a bunch of different places.
Was it?
It was a themed Risk. It wasn't even a normal Risk.
Oh,
I don't remember what it was.
I was gonna say, was it like in our living room, like on that wooden table? I don't know, in that wooden table we had that had like the chandelier hanging over the top of it. I feel like I have a vague recollection of that.
Now that you mentioned like a specific area in your house, I also remember your fridge. You had like a bunch of magnets of the little letters and stuff, and I remember like always messing with those. That's like incredibly random, but yeah, that's kind of my earliest memories of you. I feel like the more vivid memories didn't start until like you were like 8th grade. Like that's like I remember you doing your play and like and like I remember like seeing you there, and like my sister had done the play before, but obviously she was a girl. She was like always in performing arts and whatever. Like so I remember you being in it was something that I saw. I was like, oh shit, like guys could do this too, and it's not like weird.
It's weird.
Well, no, it could be weird, but you did it. So I was like, damn, he put himself out there. Like that's pretty cool, I guess.
Acting is not my forte, as we can see here by this little video here.
You mean you still don't act? You lost that skill?
Only when it's convenient, I guess.
All right. Well, the first segment that we have is going to be me asking you questions. Questions that you should know about me. But to be fair, I don't think they're super easy. Okay. Like, let's just get into them.
Let's do it.
The first one we'll get into, it sounds pretty simple.
I'm nervous.
Some people that might see this may be like, that's crazy that he doesn't know this.
Oh boy. It's gonna make me look real bad.
But to be fair, if you were to ask me these exact same questions about you, I wouldn't be able to answer all of them.
Good. Nah, I feel less bad about it now.
This first one, I think I can answer though.
Okay.
Also, if you get it wrong, you have to take a big gulp of your drink. If I get it wrong, I'll take of mine.
I'm halfway done. So
okay, good. We have refills here when we need them. But to start off, what is my middle name?
Oh,
I'll give you 2 guesses.
Oh my God, I feel like I for sure have heard it.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, damn it.
What are you feeling right now? Are you leaning towards anything?
I am, but I feel like it's just way wrong.
Speak out loud. I won't count it as a guess.
I'll straight stay poker face here.
Let's do this. Does it start with an A?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. So it's subconsciously in there somewhere. I don't know why. I want to say like Anthony, but it feels wrong.
When you're ready, lock in the guess. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong.
All right.
Think of how it flows in my name too.
I know.
Lucas.
I know Anthony doesn't go, but I don't know why that's the name that comes to mind.
Could be.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. So I narrowed down that it was A.
You think you did?
No, I did.
I wasn't fully clear if you were right or not. But.
You weren't, but you know what? Fuck it. It's gonna be wrong, but I'm gonna go. This is gonna be so bad when it's so different. I'm gonna go with Anthony.
You are wrong.
Oh yeah. It is with an A. It's Alexander.
Oh, I knew there was an obvious one that I was missing.
And yours is Armando?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I knew
also
that.
with an A.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you and Gek and Kelly are all with A, like K-A-T, right?
The cats.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So see.
0 for 1.
Exactly.
All right.
Cheers.
Starting strong.
There you go. I'll wait until you get one right. You should get one of these right, maybe.
One of them. I have to get one right.
Maybe. Let's see. All right, second question. Okay, this one you're gonna get right. And I'll be lenient with it.
Your confidence makes me nervous.
No, I'll be lenient with it because of what it is. But the question is, where do I work / what do I do?
Oh, okay. Digital marketing.
There you go.
Don't know the name of the company, even though I'm pretty sure you told me again on the way here.
I might not have, but I did say digital.
But I know it's digital marketing. I know you do advertising. And I know you work with Lauren Gonzalez, you know, so some brownie points there.
There you go.
Right?
That's an extra. There you go. I'll take for that one.
Cheers.
Wow Marketing is the name of the marketing agency.
You definitely did say that.
I did?
Yeah.
I didn't remember if I had said it or not.
You did.
There you go. You got one. You got one on the board.
You know,
you're not gonna
get the monkey off my back.
Exactly. All right. So I have two more questions about me, and I forgot to mention one of the questions is gonna be Carla related, since this is for my wedding.
Okay. All right.
So the next question about me. This one's iffy. I know this about you, but it's because I have notifications on for you for this specific thing.
See?
What is my Xbox
gamer tag?
Oh, wait. No, I definitely know this one. Give me a second. Oh, my God. I know this. Mother?
We haven't played with each other.
No, it doesn't matter. I know this,
but
because it took me forever to figure out how to even say it. Until one day it like clicked. I was like, oh, that's what it is. Oh, wow. Wow. I'm not going to get this question wrong. It might take half an hour, but I'm going to get it.
It is Misa Lukai. And Misa for Jar Jar Binks.
Tell me.
I thought you just gave up.
No, I just said I wasn't going to give up for half an hour.
I thought you were saying
like we're going to have to cut that and do it again, and I'm going to get it right.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Same position.
Replace the question. Replace the question.
Same position.
I knew that. It was going to come to me.
You were going to get that?
Yes. I promise you,
so?
Eventually, that was going to come to me. Because I told you, I even remember, like,
oh, yeah.
That's how I fucking say it one day, finally. Damn it. That's fine. That's it. The moment has passed.
We both drink. All right.
You robbed me. I feel robbed of a question I could have gotten right.
All right. You know what? Because of that,
well, let's do a substitute one.
I'll steal from somebody else.
Yeah. Steal from somebody else.
Let me see what somebody else has here that I could steal. Okay, this one's kind of related in the same vein of Xbox.
Okay.
What are the two video games that I play? Only these two video games.
Fortnite, Rocket League.
Okay, there you go. That was good. I had that question for Josh. I don't know if Josh knew that or not, but gonna have to change that for him. But we're gonna need refills pretty soon.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But all right, let's move on to the next question.
Let's see what's next.
This one I think is gonna be fun.
Okay.
And if you get it really quickly, we'll add on to it because you may get it really quickly. I don't know how much you know about this, but name two people from my St. Kevin class.
Oh, that's a good one. Thing is, I can name a lot of younger people from St. Kevin.
You just don't know if they're in my class. Yeah. That's what I thought. And
Okay.
If you get two pretty quickly, we'll try to get a third.
Okay. See, I can name a bunch of Josh's right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even Brianna and Sabrina, I can get a couple more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, in your class. This is gonna kill me. Is Kristen Batista one?
No, Sabrina and Brianna.
She's older, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like these questions. They're good, but. Any St. Kevin faculty?
Yes, at least two that I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay. No, I think you would have been younger. You were with Michael Suarez, were you? Not Michael. Joey's younger brother.
Alex.
Yeah.
No, that was Keika.
Oh wait, Joey Candelaria, older too.
That's Jonas.
Bro, I'm telling you, there's so many that are coming to my his cousin Patty.
No, Patty was in their class also.
God bless.
But same vein, keep going,
dude. They're all
very close.
It's not Ida. Ida
Nope.
was with Keika.
Yep.
Man, your stinks.
I had one of my best friends like growing up until 5th grade. They left in 5th grade, but their sister was in your class.
Their sister, who also left?
No, she was there. He left to Belen.
Wow, this is gonna kill me to go for 2. That's just brutal.
You gotta get one.
I know.
You don't know anyone who I was friends with?
I'm trying to think. I keep thinking of Josh's friends for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I keep wanting to say Sabatier.
Yeah. Well,
You see, I'm telling you, it's all right there. Oh my God.
I'll give you a hint. If you
Okay.
can name him, one of the Sabatier brothers was in my grade.
See, I can't. The only one I know is Nick.
Nick Sabatier.
Really?
And Nick Sabatier is the older brother. Kevin Sabatier was
Okay.
in my grade.
Okay. That's one.
Nick Sabatier was in Sabrina and John.
That's what I
Sabrina,
thought.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is upsetting.
I thought you'd do better. I'm gonna be honest.
Dude, I thought so too.
I thought you could get
Everybody,
two
but
pretty
everybody
easily.
I know is like, or everybody who comes to mind
is older.
right away is like at least a year older than you.
You could also go down the track that you were on earlier of Joey Candelaria and
I'm
Patty.
thinking,
What's Patty's younger sister's name?
Carolina?
Yes, Carolina
Okay,
Cantens.
all
There you
right.
go. That's one. She's invited to the wedding, so
Listen, I got
maybe
one.
she'll
I
see
got
this.
1.5 with Sabatier. It's like 1.5.
One and a half.
Yeah.
One and a half.
Let's
me
see.
try to give
Let's
you
see if
another
I can-
hint.
Let's see if I can get another one.
Unprompted, no hints, or you want a little,
Yeah, give
little
me a
more of a
hint.
hint?
Why not? You know. Help stir the
Okay.
memories.
The one that I was talking about earlier, that was like my best friend up until 5th grade, pretty
Mhm.
much. That his sister was in your grade. He also has a brother that was in Keka's grade. Also left to Belen. Also, their father worked at the school.
Oh, that's really
Hint,
bad.
not as a teacher.
That's really bad. Wow. I'm still gonna get it wrong. That's wild.
Trying to think of who else I could lead you to.
You said there was two that were faculty.
Gato was one of them.
Gato was one of them. Okay, that's fair. It's like indirect faculty.
No, her mom works there too.
Really?
Yeah. In like pre-K or
While we were
something.
there?
While I was there, like I don't know if while you were there. Not while I was in
Probably
pre-K,
should do
but
that.
later on.
Yeah. Trying to like go down the list of faculty in my brain.
You're not gonna remember this other person off of faculty.
No.
She was the one that is a faculty was my crush forever, and I dated her in 5th grade. And she was really good friends with Gato. Also a girl. And her older brother was like 2 years older than you, I think. And now he's pretty poppin' in Miami.
I got it. Cadicia?
Yeah. There you go. There you
All
go.
right.
Okay,
It was like pulling teeth, but I got a couple,
We
baby.
worked our way there. I thought you may be able to get a few
Dude,
of like my
it's-
friends or something.
It's the freaking I don't know, man. Just the
It's tough. You're like
It's the years-
4 or 5 years
I
older.
know like I don't know, I feel like I know people almost leading up to your year, and then at your year like it gets a little
because you were someone involved in St. Kevin because of Keka for a
Yeah.
while. Then she left, and
it gets a little hazy.
But the one I was trying to lead you to before is Papo Garcia. Papo Garcia was in my grade,
Yep.
and his older brother Gabby,
Yep.
and Rebecca was in your
Yep.
grade. I don't know who else
That's a
you
good
would.
one.
I don't know who else you would know off the cuff. Another one that I just remember right now, Diego Somariva, his older sister, is in your grade, right?
I would have never got that one. But yes, you're
but
right.
yes.
But I would have never got it.
I don't know who else had like siblings in your grade, but that's good. Oh, Calvo, Gabby Calvo was in my class as well.
Another one I would have never got it.
Yeah, no, I don't know how I even thought of her right now, because she left at some point too, and I think she came back and everything, but whatever. Anyway, last question. So this one is the Carlo related one.
Okay.
All right. So let's see how well you know
Dude,
this.
there's a lot of pressure.
I feel when I told my sisters that I was asking you this question, they were like, "Oh, he'll know that for sure," and I was like, "I don't know. Let's see."
Let's see.
So in 2019, I went to Carla's cousin's wedding
Okay.
in the home country of Carla's family. Do you know what
Ghana.
country it is?
Goner. Oh yes. Ecuador.
Yes.
Yes.
Go.
Yes.
Wow,
man.
that was fucking.
Woo!
Pull that out.
At first I was like, no, but then I was like, wait, yes, I do
Yes.
know this. All right. Good, so not an abject failure. I was ready to go over. I was nervous. This was the
That was
part
good.
that I was nervous about.
That was good. We got through. The only one that you didn't know was my middle name.
Correct.
And honestly, you wouldn't have gotten St. Kevin classmates if I didn't help you.
Correct. Also correct.
But the gamer tag, I spoiled for you.
You really did.
You really think you would've
I
done it?
honestly think eventually I would have done
Damn,
it.
that's such a shame.
But, you know, it's okay. It's
Do you
all
think
right.
you also would have remembered that it was Misa Lukai and not just like Misa
No,
Lucas?
I would have said like Misa Luca or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I would definitely wouldn't have said Kai.
Mhm. Fair enough. All right, I'm going to get us ice real quick. All right, back with the drinks.
All right.
I should have gotten something to mix them.
Oh, it's fine. Our fingers work fine.
Exactly. All right, so you're done with the part that you were most scared of.
Okay, you know,
That's
yeah,
good.
just listen. A goose egg, you know, it was a scary position.
Do you think those were fair questions?
Yeah,
also?
very, very fair question.
They were all like
They were like a
borderline.
perfect happy medium of like he for sure he should
could.
know some of them,
And he could
and
know
the
all
other
of them.
ones he could definitely know.
Yeah.
So I think that was fair.
That was good. I'll have to think of a
That
new one
was
for Josh.
definitely-
It was hard to think of questions for
I'm
each
sorry.
person.
I'm sorry that you had to
Waste
poach one.
No, that was
You
my
know?
fault. All right. I
Thank
think
you, sir.
I don't know where the conversation will lead us throughout the other segments, but I think we're about halfway, maybe.
Okay. All right.
We'll see how it goes. This next segment I'm excited for.
All right. Let's see.
This next part is the Groomsmen draft.
The draft.
So we're bringing out the
Okay.
cards. Since this is the first episode, you get the honor of introducing to the audience what these cards all say. I'll have them on the screen, like for people to see when I
Alright.
edit this or whatever. But for those of you that don't know, this Groomsmen draft is going to be. We're gonna have a cup here. I have a cup here with a bunch of different prompts, and Kevin's gonna pick one out, and it'll be something different every episode. But we'll draft the groomsmen, including ourselves as part of it, into different teams, and then at the end we'll debate on who had the best team and why.
Okay.
But the problem that I found going into this was that not all my groomsmen know each other super well.
Yep.
So, like for example, Kevin may not know my friends from high school, or Sophie's boyfriend Rod. And so I asked them a few questions just to put on a little card. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it looks something like this. It's their picture, their name, their age, occupation.
Look at this guy.
And then
Look
yeah,
at
this
that guy, huh?
Hopefully you can see that guy. Here, I'll hold up mine. Better example. Name, age, occupation, favorite movie, their favorite musical artist, and favorite sport. So at least people like Kevin or other people that may not know everyone else here could have some context of who these people are.
There you go.
So we'll start off with the prompt. Let's see what it is. I'm excited. I think I got some good things in here that are gonna be fun to do. So here you go. Pick out random. Let's see what you get.
Gabby put roofing consultant on there.
Yeah.
Like it should be a
All right.
zombie apocalypse survival squad.
Zombie apocalypse
It should be an
survival
offer up
squad.
specialist, not a roofing
Oh,
consultant.
offer up? No, Facebook Marketplace
Oh man.
specialist is what Gabby should be.
Zombie
Alright,
apocalypse.
so we are drafting for the zombie apocalypse survival squad.
Listen, all I know is John's last.
John's last?
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll have to evaluate
It
everyone.
has nothing to
It's
do
towards
with
the end?
It has nothing to do with athleticism. It's all about personality.
I don't know. I think because he's so like cautious about everything.
You're right.
He may like
You
be like,
do
guys,
need- you
maybe we
do
shouldn't
need-
cross this
You
bridge.
do need one person like that. So you know what,
Okay.
John? I retract that statement. You're not last. You might be like top 3 now.
Okay.
Alright.
We can do a little rock paper scissors shoot. 1 out of 1. See who goes first.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Alright.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Rock paper scissors shoot. All right.
Yes,
We
let's
got the
go.
first pick. Zombie apocalypse survival squad. Who's going first? Got every option on the board right now.
Who's going first?
Speak us through your
this
thought
guy-
process here.
I mean, I think my only thought process is that Josh does like triathlons or those
Yeah.
Spartan races and shit. So I need that on my squad.
Okay.
Like
That's
it's-
a great pick.
I need that on my squad.
He's definitely S tier in this
you know,
this
I
category.
need it.
I respect that pick. I think I'm gonna go for Matthew. I think he's
That's-
very, very survival esque. He'll know how to start us fires,
Yeah.
hunting if we need
Yeah.
it, something like that. He knows how to work guns if we get a hold of them. So
like
I think he's a good pick.
On a similar line of thinking, a man who can fix almost anything, I feel
Mhm.
like, is just not Cuban ingenuity, but just just figures stuff out. You know, he's in good shape, works out.
He's really cute.
He's a cute
Really
guy.
cute.
You know, provides some
smile.
comedic relief.
Light up the
We're
group.
gonna go with Gabby.
Okay,
Gabby
that's a good pick
Sancho
too.
You know, it's just
That's a good pick
keep
too.
the gang together here. You know,
You're sticking to the people you know also.
a little bit.
This next step I feel is where it gets a little bit harder.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly everyone here can bring to the group. All right, I already got my survival specialist. Matthew's gonna be like the leader of our group, making sure we are eating enough, keep going out and catching the food while I farm or something. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I want to pick another Montero so early, just because I already have one in the bag.
Yeah, you do. Overlapping skill set.
Yeah, exactly. I want a well-rounded survival squad here. I think I'm gonna go for me. I don't know if that's too cocky.
I forgot we were on the table.
I don't know if that's too cocky, but I think I'll support the team in a way, bring us together. Especially since I'm the one who knows everyone here the most. No matter who's on my team, like I think we'll do good. I think that's a solid pick. I'm happy with that.
Next, who to pick next? See, I feel like the people I don't know that are a distinct disadvantage in this.
Oh,
in
for
this
sure.
particular,
for sure.
You know. So no offense, guys.
No,
probably not going to pick you early.
Another thing I forgot to mention: there's 13 people, so one person will not be picked every game.
Oh no!
Every game.
Somebody has. I mean,
I don't know.
There's got to be. There has. Even if they're the last pick, there's got to. They have to get.
Carla told me that we should do something funny with the last person, but I couldn't think of something to do with them. So like, maybe we could pretend that they're the zombie that like starts off.
I like that.
The apocalypse.
I like that. You know what? So let's go. See, I feel like Michael has to at least have some of that Montero blood in him and know the survival skill sets. And I feel like I need that.
Yeah.
I need that on my squad. So
fair enough.
Next pick.
That's a good pick.
Michael Montero.
That's a good pick. Oh, man.
Hopefully you don't poach my next one. Let's see.
I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna go with John.
Oh, he poached him. He poached him.
I think John could be a lot of help. He's gonna be the brains of the operation.
I agree.
He's gonna make sure we're not doing stupid shit.
I failed to account for that when this first
I
think
he's gonna be a good asset to the team. Make sure we're all level headed. We're not going into the street, going out at night. You know. And on top of that, he's athletic. He could help us in different ways in that way. He could help hunting.
No, you're right.
He's got fishing down if we need that.
He does.
I don't know if zombies catch the fish or whatever. So
I don't know what the hell I bring to the table, but I can't.
I can't just underestimate yourself.
I can't be the last pick in my own damn. I feel like picking myself fourth is it's a nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice compromise there.
Okay, man, this is rough for you. These are the people left that you probably know the least.
Yeah.
Everyone that you know somewhat is off the board already.
Pretty much.
Let's see. Zombie apocalypse. Who do I want by my side? I'm gonna take Rod. I'm gonna take Rod because he's smart. He will also make sure that we're not doing anything dumb.
Keep your teeth clean.
He's athletic. He will clean our teeth. And I feel like he won't panic, which I feel like a lot of other people here that are left on the board may get a little bit antsy, panic, do something that will hurt the team at the end of the day. And I think Rod will be pretty straightforward, level-headed again. So we'll go with Rod.
All right. So next, I think I'm going to double up. I think I'm going to double up on the Montero blood.
Oh, yeah. It's not a bad fit.
And, I feel like they just know how to do things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
And just end of world scenarios.
You're right.
That's what you need.
You're right.
That's what you need. So I'm going to go with Marcus.
Marcus is an underrated pick here. He definitely is.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it.
He's young.
His favorite sport's hockey. So, I can
swing the stick to kill some zombies. I'm not going to lie. Marcus is obviously the youngest here by a bit, but he's definitely an underrated pick. I think he would know what he's doing there. All right, so left on the board, we have Chris, my cousin, Garrett, friend from college from Sarasota, Ricky and Daniel, both friends I met in high school. This is tough. I'll say my hesitation towards picking every person that's left. All right, we'll go with that. Daniel, I think, might get a little bit skittish. He's the one that I'm thinking like he might be like, "Oh shit, guys, I don't know, whatever," and kind of freak out. Daniel is right. Ricky, when he's locked in, and he could be an asset to the team. But a lot of the time, he is not. He is on his own planet, and he may be thinking about God knows what, and a zombie comes and enters our camp when he's on watch. Something like that. Garrett, again, kind of the same thing as Daniel. Think he might be a little bit skittish. We'll see. We'll see when the zombie apocalypse come. And then Chris.
Careful what you say here.
I might pick him. I think it's a good pick. Actually, there we go. That's it. It's Chris. Chris is going to be my pick. He's athletic as well, so he'll help in that way. He won't be a drag. I mean, pretty much everyone here on this board is in general, but
all right.
I think he'll be a good asset to the team. He'll bring morale too. He's a good morale raiser.
At this point in the draft here,
3 people you have no idea who they are.
No, I mean I've met Ricky at least once, and I've probably met Garrett at least once too.
He was at the wedding. He was taking film photography
totally
pictures.
believe that.
Yeah.
But
I don't expect you to remember him.
So I'm gonna go with Ricky. I know he's a decent athlete at least, and I remember him. So
okay,
all right. That's pretty much it.
All right, so it's between Daniel and Garrett for the last pick. I know both of them are going to be pissed. The last picks. I know both of them will see this.
And you called them little bitches pretty much. So.
Kind of. I kind of did, but I think it's warranted. But I think both of them will think, what the fuck? I definitely should have been picked before Marcus. Marcus was like a 4th round pick.
Again, I know Marcus. I don't really know you guys.
Exactly.
That plays into it a little bit. Lucas, on the other hand,
I know Marcus and I know you
very
guys.
Well, so.
I think my team is pretty well rounded. I'm trying to think of what I'm missing and which hole they would fill best.
Careful what context you say that.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Man, this is really tough. Maybe I'm gonna go off of just the things we have.
I was about to say, which movie do you like better?
Exactly. Well, maybe which movie I like better, but which one would translate best to helping the zombie apocalypse survival squad. So we got Daniel put as his favorite movie, The Dark Knight Rises.
Garrett, that's looking tough, Garrett.
I like The Dark Knight, which is the second one in the trilogy. A little bit better, but The Dark Knight Rises is still good. Garrett has Dead Poet Society. I've only seen
death. Zombies are dead.
Okay. I've only seen Dead Poet Society once, and it was an English class in high school, and I don't remember it very well. I don't know if maybe the message of the movie would help us in a zombie apocalypse, but
I feel like that's an intellectual pick.
It is. It is a little bit of
brains, or do you have brains covered?
I got John, Rod, Matthew, and Chris have something to offer too, so. Okay. I'm gonna go Daniel. Daniel's tall. He's probably taller than Garrett. I don't know that for a fact. But
Garrett, I'm sorry.
I apologize, Garrett. And he's gonna be pissed. I already know that once he sees this, he's gonna be like, "What the fuck? How was I not picked?"
Again, Garrett, I'm sorry.
You'll get to know him at the bachelor party.
I barely know you. If I knew you a little better, maybe I would have picked you.
You know what? Garrett might have been a good pick because he could have taken pictures of the whole thing, documented it.
That's right. That way history won't repeat itself.
Once we survive the zombie apocalypse, we'll have Garrett's pictures to remember us. But it is what it is. I'm sorry, Garrett. So I guess in this scenario, we decided you were the one that started the zombie apocalypse. I don't know in what context. It's tough. But not only were you not chosen for the zombie apocalypse survival squad by either team, you also started the zombie apocalypse. So
it's a tough look.
Overall, we got our teams. Let's go over them real quick. My first pick was Matthew Montero. Then I chose myself. I'm a cocky bastard. And then I chose John, then Rod, then Chris, and then Daniel.
So I went with Josh. I feel like that one's kind of
he was first round pick easily.
It's just one first pick, first round. Then Gabby, Michael Montero, myself fourth. I feel like
that was humble.
I might have been at the bottom with Garrett there, for being real. So I couldn't allow that to happen on my own episode. And with Marcus, double Montero blood there. And I went with Ricky. So I like my squad here.
I do too. I don't know. I think you might have the edge. I like my chances. I like my chances with Matthew and John as a duo.
See, I would have picked John over myself, but you picked him before I could get to him.
Yeah.
So
I think Gabby is a really underrated. He's extremely resourceful.
That's why he was number 2.
Exactly. Like I think he'll figure out what to do in any scenario that you're put in a zombie apocalypse.
I agree.
And also knows how to handle guns, knows how to ride an ATV really well. Helps with the getaway. Knows his way through bullshitting any situation he needs.
He does.
So I'll give you the win here. I'll give you the win, but I'm gonna say it's close. Close.
Right.
Good game. This was fun. I'm excited to do this again. Again, I'm sorry, Garrett. On your episode, you will not be picked last.
Don't worry, Garrett. You can leave me for last.
The prompts will change every time, and who knows? Maybe one time I'll be left last, and it is what it is. But somebody will be let last every time. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
True.
All right. Oh, and also, Zombie Apocalypse Survival Squad won't happen again. So I have like 12 different prompts that will be used every time, a different one every time. So. Final segment, or not final segment. I don't know why I said that. Next segment, it is the shared media segment. So this caused a little bit of confusion. Hopefully, following this episode, if people watch it, they'll understand what I'm asking for.
Let's see.
Here.
I think you're gonna have to go first on this one.
I'll go first
to make sure I was, the same wavelength.
Okay,
as you.
yeah.
All right.
So pretty much this segment, for anyone that doesn't know, I told him beforehand because he had to come prepared with this already.
Let's see how prepared I am.
The idea was to bring some sort of media that reminded him of me or our relationship, or that we saw together, and it brought up some memories, something in that vein. I said media because it could be a movie, a song, an album, an artist, a video game, a book, a poem. So for what I decided to bring to the table to talk about was Cultiva una rosa blanca.
Oh my!
No, I'm kidding.
God.
I'm kidding.
With carnero.
That's not
Holy cow! That'd be awesome.
That shared experiences with every Shamrock that's existed. Really so, no, my real pick.
That's good stuff.
My real pick is Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. And the reason I picked that is because it's one of the first movies I ever remember going to the movies with.
Okay.
And to be fair, it was with mostly like your dad planned it, but I remember I was like sitting with you and your friends.
Okay.
And it was the only Star Wars movie I had seen in theaters, the first one. Okay. And I'm the biggest Star Wars fan. We forgot to mention this. I'm wearing a Dolphins jersey because he's the biggest Dolphins fan I know.
And I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Exactly, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But yeah, like Star Wars Episode 3, I remember I was 6 years old. Sitting there, I was like amazed by lightsabers and the Force and Jedi and all this stuff. I remember coming home from that movie and drawing the scene where Palpatine is electrocuting Yoda and Yoda's catching it. I remember I had like a drawing in crayon of that. I don't think so. I wish I did. I wish that's what I could bring out right now as my piece of media. But because of that, it's such Star Wars is such a huge part of my life, who I am. Like I love Star Wars. I talk about it with everyone. I've seen every movie 15 times at least. I've seen all the shows. I know all the lore. Like, it is a huge part of who I am, and I feel like that was kind of the kickoff of it. And you were there for that experience, and you were a huge part of that experience because you liked Star Wars at the time, and like so did your dad or whatever. But you guys kind of like introduced me into that world that I ended up like loving and becoming so important to me.
Good job, Dad.
So way to go, Orly. Shout out, Orly. But shout out you too, like I remember even like the Battlefront games, like I remember you playing that and like seeing it.
Throwback.
I remember, so you had the first PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
And then when you got the PS2, you gave it to Josh.
I did.
And then Josh ended up getting a PS2 eventually, and I inherited your original PlayStation. And one of the games that I remember the most was Battlefront 1 or 2. I don't remember which one it was back then.
Spoilers, not to cut you off.
No,
if you have little kids who still believe in Santa, turn this off now. But so
spicy
funny
moment.
Story behind how Josh ended up with my PS2 or PS1 or whatever it was. So for every Christmas, my parents would write us a letter, like if they were Santa.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, for a while we thought it was Santa.
But it wasn't.
Correct.
Let's clarify.
Yeah,
Okay.
all these years later, we finally found out.
All right.
So my parents thought it would be a good idea to say, "Oh, now that you have a PlayStation 2 or whatever it was, we think we think it'd be a great idea for you to donate your PlayStation 1 to Joshua."
Uh-huh.
And so I remember, I don't know, I must have been like 10 or 11 years old, and I was like, "How the fuck is this guy gonna know that one of my good friends is Joshua Vasai? Get the fuck out of here."
Dude, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're
that
awake.
was the tell.
That was the tell. That's what got you?
That's what.
Wow.
And so one day on my way to soccer practice, I told my parents, I think I was like something along the lines of like, Santa's not real, is he?
Cut the act. I know.
And I was like, there's just no way this man could have known that Josh and I were such close friends, and that is who should get my PlayStation 1.
That's good.
And so you're sorry to cut you off.
No, I want to
sidebar there.
I want to continue on that sidebar because I have two stories. I'm going to start with my dad.
Okay.
My dad found out that Santa wasn't real when he was like 4 years old. I don't know
Say
how.
40 for some reason.
No.
Why?
No, when he was like 4 years old. I don't know how because I feel like he's a pretty gullible person. But as a kid, I guess he was just on it. He was like, there's no way this guy goes to every house, whatever. He always says the thing that got him was Rudolph. He's like, there's no way there was a reindeer with a glowing nose.
I can buy that.
That's the thing that he was at 4 years old. He was
I
like,
can see that.
no chance this is real. That's the thing that got him. My awakening of Santa not being real came way later. I mean, to be fair, I think I knew for a few years, and I felt
just
bad.
didn't want to accept it.
I kind of felt bad for my parents. Like I felt sad for them to sad for them to
you
know.
were ruining it for them.
Exactly. I kept strong for them. You know.
That's good.
I think I knew like the year before, but the next year had come up or whatever. I think I was in like 5th grade already, like maybe 6th grade. I think 5th grade though. Okay. And I remember it was like the Macy's Day Parade, and you know how it always ends with Santa coming in at the end, and he's like the last float or whatever. I remember we were sitting on that couch right there, and I was just like, Santa came by. We're all just there watching him. Like, Mom, is Santa real? And I just straight up asked her. At this point, she's probably like, bro, this kid doesn't know by now. Like, he's already in 5th grade, whatever. I straight up asked her, and she's like, she kind of just like comes to me, and she's like, oh, like, he is, but it's through me and Dad. Like, we are the ones that do it, or whatever. Like, that explanation. And I remember I started sobbing. I was like, I can't believe this. Like, I ruined this for you guys. Like, I felt more like bad for them than I was like traumatized that Santa wasn't real. Like, I think at that point, I don't know. I knew already, but
I feel like looking back on it, I feel like such an idiot sometimes for not having figured it out sooner.
It's crazy. It's crazy how
because every single year, when we still lived in Hampshire homes, my parents would lock the downstairs bathroom because that's where they would keep all the gifts. Yep. And every year they would tell us that my grandfather doesn't know how to work the door. He would lock it. Every year. The same lock? It worked for 11 years.
Damn.
No,
my mom used to go like all out for us. Like she put like cotton in the door.
I bought that multiple times.
Yeah. The carrots outside that she says she remembers like chewing it up and spitting it out there in the front to be like, oh, the reindeer came and ate the carrots. Eggnog, the cookies, yeah. No.
Anyway, thanks, Josh. You enlightened me.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, I remember when I received that PlayStation, one of the games I played a lot was Battlefront, and it was after I had seen like Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Another game that I played a lot on there was Spyro, the dragon. Classic. That was a great game.
A wonderful game.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I brought as the thing to remind you of our relationship.
You kind of not stole my thunder because I guess I wasn't gonna pick a specific movie, but obviously I was gonna bring up Star Wars.
Okay.
So
I assume so.
You know, I think so. As you mentioned, my dad pretty much puts all of these together at least once a year, if not more.
Like 40 people going to see the
a
same
lot
movie.
of people going to Sunset Cafe at an ungodly hour in the morning to eat breakfast. I'm pretty sure a couple times you went like without your parents. But I think, man, I want to say it was like Han Solo. Was that one? I was trying to remember the specific movie.
Like the first one we did?
No, not the first one. Just in general, like there was one. Did you go see Han Solo with us?
I don't remember, honestly.
I know
I saw The Force Awakens with you guys.
That one I know for sure. I know you were a huge fan.
And I saw The Last Jedi also, and that one that was the one that everyone hates, but I still to this day love that one.
Oh man, I just remember there was one that I think you had already seen it, and you went to go watch it with us a second time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember how excited you were to see that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it like got me like even more excited to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it just ended up being a good ass movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have.
And you think it was the Solo? Or
no,
maybe Rogue One?
I don't know. It might have been Rogue One. Ray was in it, so I guess it couldn't have been Solo.
No, yeah, it was probably The Force Awakens.
It might have been that one
because that was the first one, and that was like Star Wars was back, like.
And I think you went without your parents too.
Maybe, yeah.
But
and I had already seen it.
I don't know, just in general, like definitely the thing that reminds me of you most is Star Wars.
In
general, and I know you really loved how the whole series ended.
No, I didn't. I hated The Rise of Skywalker. It was the biggest disappointment ever. Like, it sucks, dude, because like the thing with The Force Awakens, the first one of the new trilogy, it was good, but it was a lot of the same like story beats as the original movie, as like A New Hope, whatever, episode 4. But it was good. It was cool to see Star Wars with like the updated CGI and like all that stuff. And then the next one came, The Last Jedi, which that one's super controversial. Either most people hate it or they love it. I was on the side that loved it because they took all the things that were set up in the first one and they were like, no, fuck that. We're doing something completely different. They subverted like all expectations, and I loved that. But then with the last one, because the middle one was so divisive, they tried to please everyone, and they threw in like the most lazy like BS. They brought back the Emperor out of nowhere, which like ruins the whole arc of like the original trilogy. And it's just like it was such a mess, and it was such a shame because like I was really excited for it and whatever. Obviously, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I had also loved the direction that they were going, and like not everyone did, but I was on that train. Like I loved it so far, and it just crashed at the end, and it was a shame for sure. But yeah, that was a good one.
They did that to you.
Yeah, I can't believe they did that to me.
I feel like they
of
singled
all
you
people,
out
for real,
and said we're gonna piss off Lucas.
They knew.
And you know.
All right, we're reaching the final stage.
Yeah, we have 2 minutes before you got to restart that.
Oh, okay. Then I'll do that before I go into the final.
I feel like they singled you out in particular. We're gonna make sure we piss Lucas Smith off.
They saw my happy reviews and they're like,
did.
we don't want this kid to be happy. Let's see.
Fuck this guy.
All right, recording again.
Damn, I forgot to bring up Chubby's too.
Oh, you can bring up Chubby's.
Yeah.
What about Chubby's? You own? Let me ask you a question.
No.
Okay.
I own shorts that they don't make. Chubbies aren't made for people my physique.
I think they are, but
Maybe.
because you've only seen me in them.
No, I've seen plenty of people in Chubbies.
I know, but I'm saying like because like your biggest attachment to the brand.
Maybe it's because I know how can I ever live up to Lucas.
No, not because of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like maybe you see like me and my body type and just
maybe that's what it is.
And you're like oh like it's meant for people like that.
Right.
But
It's meant for skinny people. No, I think I have a couple bathing suits. They're not Chubbies, but they might as well
you
be.
Own bathing suits?
Yeah. They're pretty. They're a little on the shorter side. Natalie doesn't let me get.
She doesn't let
regular
you.
sized bathing suits.
Oh, okay.
She
I was
thinks
gonna
I'm
say
like a runway model. Or
oh
some
no,
shit. I can wear these little short.
You
shorts
can.
and
It's all about confidence.
Oh, it is all about the confidence. You're not wrong there, but yeah. I mean, I have to bring up Chubbies.
Yeah.
I like rewatched today your famous circle video with all the outfits.
just to get in the mood.
It's just like let me get in the Lucas Lucas mood.
Mm-hmm. To prepare for the episode.
So I can't we can't bring up media and then obviously not mention Chubbies.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
Lucas Smith and Chubbies.
A huge part of it. But both are Chubby, Star Wars.
Exactly. That's it. The list ends there.
No, Gators.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Those three.
That's like the good part of the list. And you get to the bad part of the list.
That part's subjective.
Yeah, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this is my first podcast as a dad, so I gotta.
Do you say that?
No, that's my only podcast.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like, what did you do before this?
I can't wait to see all the nervous ticks that I don't realize.
Oh my god, dude! I was.
Oof! It's gonna be so bad, bro.
I was at work today presenting something, and after I finished presenting, my coworker, like whatever, we hang up from the call. My coworker's like,
Shout out Eddie. He might watch this. He has his own podcast. So I was like, I've been talking to him about this a lot. But he was like, dude, you talk with your hands a lot. It's like,
but that's like a Hispanic thing.
I think so.
It is 1,000%.
He's like, when you talk, it looks like you're rapping. Like you're always going like this. Like
it's a Hispanic thing, though.
Yeah, no, I mean I've heard it is, but I don't know. Maybe I do it a lot when I'm like nervous, and I was doing it a lot like in that presentation.
I know I subconsciously put a bunch of weird ass faces on.
Oh,
So,
like muecas?
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
Or I like tend to touch my face a lot.
I've been trying to stay away from it. I've consciously been thinking
I don't know if I've been doing it. I know I've definitely picked up my cup and put it down and then picked it up like within 3 seconds several times.
I was like a tick.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely can't avoid the just like fingers around the lips.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure one that's gonna come through nicely.
One that I try to avoid too is saying like or a lot. But I mean, I thought about that before.
I feel like I don't do it naturally. I say like in the sense that I'm saying I don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I'm more of an guy than a like guy.
I'm a both guy, and I also say bro a lot. But that's not bad.
I'm not bad about
that's just
bro.
Miami talk in general. All right, cheers. This is our final drink of the episode.
I didn't see you pour the vodka in here, so I hope it was a generous pour.
Oh, do you want more?
No,
You don't taste
didn't
it?
see it. Did you taste it?
Do I taste it in mine? No, not necessarily.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to.
It's because it's a good drink. That's why it makes it well. All right.
So this portion of the podcast, I think, will be most interesting out of everyone with you.
Okay.
Because
that's a lot of pressure.
I know, yeah, I just shouldn't have set it up like that. But because you've been through a marriage, you have a child.
I like where this is going.
So this part of the section is just kind of an advice
section.
Okay.
Like obviously in Marcus's episode, when I ask him for advice, it's going to be interesting. Everyone has their perspective that can offer something.
I feel like that might be the most interesting one. Is what Marcus is going to tell you.
It might be more interesting than the people that are somewhere in the middle.
Exactly.
But I thought your perspective it's going to be unique. You're my only groomsman with a child, and I think only John and Josh now are the only two other groomsmen that are married.
Yeah.
So So you could start off with your marriage advice, and then we go into your child.
Marriage advice. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one take. Let's say communication, man. Like everybody says, oh, marriage is work and oh, marriage is hard and all that, and they're not wrong, right? But as long as you guys are constantly communicating about anything and everything, you had a bad day, you had a good day, you don't like the way she puts the toilet paper on the freaking little holder, it doesn't matter. Go for it.
Which way do you put it? Are you
under
it
forward?
Thank God.
I mean, under people are psychopaths.
At work, I change it. When I go to the bathroom at work, if it's under, I'll change it.
And I just brought that up randomly. That's not an indictment on the way Natalie puts the toilet paper.
No, it's fair, but I follow you.
Just for starters, I would definitely say just communication, because women especially, it goes both ways, but women especially love to assume that men are mind readers, and we're not. We're very simple creatures. Tell us what to do. Give us a clear set of instructions, and we will do it.
I agree.
But if you miss something on the instructions and we don't do it, I'm sorry. You had your chance. So communication. It's the biggest. I mean, just communication.
Okay.
For starters. This one could be one. I mean, it's all about. It's subjective, kind of like your Gator fandom there, and who you ask. Happy wife, happy life. It could have been one. I'm putting it at 2. We're part of it at least. We're like somewhere in the equation. So communication. Then second's like happy wife, happy life. I feel like men in general have a really good ability to kind of just, yes, honey. We're listening, but we're not listening. Or kind of just that's like, it's a skill. It's an asset. Develop it, cultivate it, because you're going to be using it a lot. It's just not agreeing to get them to stop talking, but they're right. They're right more often than not, and in reality, they really are right more often than not. But even when they're not right, they're right.
What do you do in a situation that
They're wrong as hell.
They're wrong as hell, but also like it's not only something stupid, it's like something that's like detrimental in your mind to like you shouldn't see it this way. You know, like what were
then you need to voice your opinion in a way that won't piss them off. Impossible.
But it goes back to number one of communication.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. So the best thing is that they know your stance or your viewpoint on something, so it's not even a problem down the line. But if eventually it is, then you guys just have a little back and forth, right? A respectful back and forth. You shouldn't curse each other out. Obviously, I feel like that's a little implicit, but hey, some people, like doing that stuff. So no, man. I mean, as long as you guys stay respectful, everybody should be, happy wife, happy life is definitely a thing. But that's more so for like you to not be stressed out. There's a little fight, you don't feel like, yeah, honey, sure, right? It goes a long way.
Yeah,
but you gotta have your opinions and your stances on things too, right? So it's all about just the way you present things and right, the way you approach a subject. If you know she's PMSing, don't bring it up. Wait till next week.
Yeah. By the way, you were like really bad last week, something like that. Maybe.
You got to pick and choose your spots.
Yeah.
Right. What's another one? Compromise. Right. Like I feel like that kind of comes back to communication a lot. Like if there's something that's really important to her and it's not really that important to you, maybe you don't really feel like doing it, right? But just do it. See, like I'm really bad at that when it comes to TV and movies. Like in general, if I don't want to watch it, I'm almost always going to say no.
Yeah.
And I really shouldn't, right? Because it's not that important. It's just a freaking movie or whatever you're going to watch. But I'm kind of an asshole when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
And I know it, but I can't do anything about it. So don't be like that, right? Like compromise. Compromise when it comes to, obviously important stuff too, but especially the little shit that is going to go a long way for her. Like, just do it.
What do you think about how we're in a similar situation in the fact you longer than me, but that you were and I have been dating Carla for years. And by the time we're going to get married, by the time you got married to Natalie, how did your relationship change with marriage? And then as a segue from that with a child, how has it changed?
Okay. So I feel like nowadays a lot of people already live together before they get married. So like I've talked to a bunch of people that are like, oh yeah, we got married, and it's like the same thing, right? Like it's like, at least for me personally, that's like couldn't be further from the truth, right? Like yeah, Natalie and I were together forever, but when we got married, like I don't know, like that's your wife now, like it's not your girlfriend. Like I feel like just more wife in general has like a very
like attachment.
Yeah, like it's your wife, title, right? Like it's not like tomorrow I can just drop her like a bad habit if I have a bad day, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that with your girlfriend either. Yeah, but whatever. Technically you could.
Exactly.
There's a lot of strings attached now when it's your wife. But no, like it's
you're more possessive of it, not in a bad way, but more like
I don't know if possessive is the word, but it's more like
bad, but
like and I'm in the same sentence back to back. Love that. It's more of it just means more, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but it just, even though you guys have been together for a long time, you see each other all the time, you're with each other all the freaking time. It's just different when you're married because outside of repeating, because it's your wife again, I don't know how to get the point across. Like,
I feel that.
It's just a much bigger deal. Like it just means more.
Yeah, I mean,
for words that I cannot find.
Yeah, no, even like the difference from her being my girlfriend to my fiance is a bit of
it carries a little more weight.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And obviously you guys are gonna move in together, right? So that's obviously a pretty big deal. And you're gonna find out little things that. Because you think you know almost everything you can know. And you do, right? Like you know almost everything you can know about each other. But there's going to be little things that you pick up on once you're, living together and being together far more often than you were before. So it's obviously going to be a big change in that sense. But you guys have been together for so long, and there's not going to be, at least from my personal experience, right, anything significant that you learn about Carla that's like, damn, Carla, kind of wish this had a return policy on it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's different in that it's your wife now, and it carries more weight, but at the same time, because you guys have been together so long and you know each other so well, like at least in my case, it was super normal. And yeah, we just had a kid, so it's gonna get a little harder now, right? But there hasn't been this. I don't know. Nowadays, everybody makes it seem like marriage is supposed to be so hard, and like, I don't know.
It's fun.
It's not that hard. Like, you know, like it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Are you gonna have things that come up that involve a discussion and a certain understanding? Sure, of course, right? But all of that, the majority of it should be worked out before you guys even get
married. Yeah.
So definitely, like, impacto is a big one. It's not impacto. The name of the wedding, Camino.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a big one. That kind of opens your eyes to like a lot of things that
we haven't done that yet, but it's like in the works.
And you will though, but like it's gonna make you think and discuss like a wide variety of topics that, even though you guys know each other a lot, it's just things that don't come up in your normal day to day, like your finances. I don't want to say gender roles, but like who does what kind of, right? Like there's just subconsciously you kind of fall into these like roles, right? Like, you know, the garbage. I don't want to say she does the dishes. She does them more often than I do. That's for sure, because I hate the dishes. But you know, just different little things like that that just kind of
cooking.
You got to talk about it a little bit, right? Like, so just, and again, it kind of all comes back to number one, right? Communication. Like, as long as you guys have a constant, open line of communication, things can only get so bad. It's about, you know, you want to have as much good as possible, and then limit how bad something can get by kind of nipping it in the bud, and, you know, not letting things fester.
How do you find the courage to bring up something that like,
that what
something that like, you know, is going to be a spicy topic? Like,
you mean like potentially asking my wife to have a fantasy draft the same day as my son's baptism?
Yeah, something like that.
That's good.
See, I just don't ask.
Just do it.
No, I definitely don't just do.
No.
No, that just came up in my group chat this week. We had a date set for weeks already, and now one person potentially couldn't make it, but I think I avoided it. But that was gonna be a scary conversation that I was kind of developing the intestinal fortitude to have. But man, I mean, tough conversations, they're part of life, not even just marriage, they're just part of life, and you gotta have them, and you're with the right person, so they're gonna understand, and they're gonna know that just you gotta talk about shit, even if it's uncomfortable. So yeah, just talk. I guess is kind of how I can summarize all of this. Just
come
talk.
back to number one, communication.
Just talk.
And how did the relationship change with you having Jax?
Yeah, so that's a good question.
I mean, it's only been
it's only been 3 months, but there's definitely.
Do you see this? I mean, obviously, there's a difference in your life because you have a lot more responsibility with doing specific tasks. But do you see a difference in your relationship yet, like between you and Nat? Yeah,
I mean, to an extent, right? Like, before you have a kid, it's just you guys. Like, you are number one, right? And not that I guess I'm not number one anymore, but you know, at the end of the day, like, your number one concern is your kid.
Yeah.
Right. So the majority of your energy and your focus and your attention is gonna go towards your kid. In this case, our son. So that's definitely a change, right? Like, we need to find a way. I mean, we've been finding a way, right? It's not like we haven't, but it's definitely more of, you need to make it a point to kind of not acknowledge the other person, but remind them and make them feel known, like, hey, like, you're still a priority, and, you know, it's not all about the baby. It's like 99% about the baby. You still have 1%, you know? Like, so
lucky you.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, So that's definitely something different, right? Like a kid obviously comes with a lot of stuff. You sleep a lot less. You get a little less attention than you used to, but it's obviously the pros far outweigh the cons in that case.
Yeah. How would you say your perspective on like life yourself? Like I've always pictured myself that by the time I have a kid, like my entire life will shift perspective of like my entire life is about this kid.
Right.
Is that something you experienced? And if so, like to what extent? Like how has your life changed like perspective wise of like what's important to you or anything?
So we may have to cut this.
Okay.
Depending on how I feel after I watch it on playback.
Okay.
But I feel like this is gonna be kind of fucked up to say. But I feel like I haven't had that 100% shift yet. Like I still feel like I'm kind of holding on just a teeny tiny
It's
bit.
early too.
Right. Like
it's still just like an infant.
Like I don't know. I kind of feel like I shouldn't get bothered right when I can't go play pickleball because I have a kid at home, or I want to go play disc golf, and every once in a while I'm still kind of like, I kind of still want to play though.
No, but that's fair.
So
of course.
No, there's definitely been a shift, and it's not like I'm super pissed off or anything, but it's like, damn.
This baby.
It would have been nice to go play, but this motherfucker had to get in the way.
No. Yeah, there's definitely been a shift, right? Like I said, at the end of the day, like your focus and your priority is like your son. Like just and that's not a bad thing, and it doesn't bother me that is that way. Like I can tell you, like there's certain moments that Natalie wishes she had more free time, 100%. But she is like, whew, right? Like head over heels. Like she carried that man for what, 8 months, 7.5 months, whatever it was. Like nothing else in the world matters.
Yeah.
Right. And I did not carry him. Right. Like obviously I care about him, and he is number one in the world. But damn, bro, I want to go play pickleball too on a Wednesday night.
You can't wait for him to grow up and play pickleball with you.
Hey, pick up a paddle, son. I need a partner.
Yeah.
So there's little differences there like that. But
on a scale from 1 to 10, how happy are you that you did not have to give birth?
Like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's 20.
That's fair.
Natalie did not have an easy road. So a 20 is very
20
it's very accurate. I might be lowballing it a little bit,
Well, thank you. That was good advice.
Yeah.
I don't think Marcus is gonna offer me that perspective.
You never know, man.
We'll never know.
He'll surprise you.
We'll never know. His mind can sometimes produce very very surprising but intelligent things.
Yeah.
I play Xbox with him pretty often, almost every night, and
I would say that's pretty often. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got some interesting quotes from him for sure. But
thank you. All right, we are finally in our final segment of the podcast. Let's see how long we've been going for. An hour and 12 minutes. It's pretty good.
Too bad.
I think that's fair. That's fair. We said an hour.
You were expecting maybe a little bit more. I said at least an hour. Exactly. So it's been pretty good. I think we've done great so far. I've had fun, honestly.
I have as well.
I like the different segments. I think we spent a good amount of time on each segment.
We did, and I didn't go 0 for like 5 or whatever it was. So,
exactly. Exactly.
But final segment. Carla hates when I say this phrase because she says that I just picked it up off of like Twitter or TikTok or whatever. But it is the phrase of giving somebody their flowers. So that is of course telling you why I love you, why you're my groomsman, what you mean to me, what you've taught me over our lifespan. You might get teary-eyed. We'll see. Probably not.
See, I might need another vodka.
Exactly.
Right.
We might be taking straight from the handle maybe by the end of this. But I have 5 different things I wrote down as like things that I admire about you or that I've learned from you, even if like it may not seem it because I'm 5 years younger than you, right?
Yeah.
Around that. So it's not like we're super close in age where it's like we grew up like right next to each other, even though of course we were all in the same group with everyone in the gang. Just to clarify real quick, I don't know if we've clarified this yet, but the gang is 4 families that are very close and we've known each other for decades. But it is not
a vicious gang.
It is not anything to be afraid of. We are not part of a gang that is in any way related to what you may think it is. But anyway, we've been part of the gang the entire life. But as I was saying, like we've never been like the two like Lucas and Kevin together. You know, whatever. Obviously, we're brothers. You know, but because of that, I feel like a perspective that you may have about me is that I don't look up to you as much as I may like. I don't know, someone like Josh, for example, that's right over me.
Yeah.
And because of that, I feel like you don't know how much you've impacted my life. So I wrote down some things that I think are things that you've impacted me in a way. So like the first thing I have here, I touched upon this in the beginning, but it's competitiveness. In general, just through like viewing games, like us talking shit about the Dolphins, like the Heat, whatever it is, like, or even forget sports, like just competitiveness and games we play together, like sports we've played together, games, stuff like that. Like you've always been the most competitive person I know, and I'm always there to match that energy. Like I'm always like, fuck Kevin, I'm going to be him in whatever it is. I don't care if it's beer pong, in baseball, in kickball, whatever it is, like I'm here to challenge you.
Love that.
And I think a part of that is because you were older and you were like the cool, like older kid who was like good at all this stuff, and I was like, okay, that's what I have to do. Like I have to be like that. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Next thing, a little bit more on the sweet side, is caring. Like something I didn't bring up before, but like a memory I remember, like when I started actually forming real memories with you, is this one time that we were on the trampoline with like everyone in the gang, like we were just messing around the trampoline like we did all the time. And Stephanie said something to me, I don't remember what it was, but it got me upset, and I remember like I left off the trampoline and whatever. I remember you came to me and you talked to me and like you talked me through it, and like was like, oh, like don't worry about what she said, like stuff like that. And like that's some shit that like you probably have no recollection that shit happened, like at all.
I remember.
No chance that you remember that happened. But
I do remember our trampoline days.
Oh, of course.
I almost brought that up as like our media topic conversation.
Of course.
So
you've injured multiple parts of your body on those trampolines.
Yeah.
But that's a story that just sticks out to me because that's something that like what you go through your daily life. You have your whole life in front of you, whatever. Like you have your job and you have Natalie and you have the kid. But like I feel like sometimes as like an older person, you may not always look back and like see the impact that you've had. I'm gonna speak for Josh and Gabby, but for me as well, like the impact that you've had on us. Like you were like the older brother that none of us had. None of us had brothers, and you were like the older person that we saw as like doing all this shit, and it was cool. And you were caring, and it was like something like at least I could say like I noticed about you, and something that I brought into like trying to be like Kevin, you know?
I appreciate that.
Woo, I can't fucking cry. That was beautiful.
I had a little more of this.
That was beautiful. I know I could follow that up. Next,
good luck.
Next,
good luck following that one
was
up.
good. That was good. Next, I have lightheartedness.
Okay.
This is just something that like you've always been someone that, of course, like whatever, everyone has their down moments, but that's something that I have never been exposed to. You know, like you've always been someone that like when you're around, we're having a good time. Like you're always happy. You're always making sure like everyone's included, and like I guess I'll bring in my next one here because it is inclusivity. But
okay.
you're always making sure that people are included in whatever it is we're doing, and everyone's having a good time, and like you're always having a good time. And of course, like I mentioned, like obviously your life is not always good times all the time.
Jesus Christ. No, we have to run out here for
was that
fire
25
alarm?
minutes? That was 25 minutes.
I'll make sure it's recording again.
All right, so yeah.
Damn, you were the flow too. I love
I know I was. Inclusivity, yeah. Like you've always made sure that like even with Carla, like it's so easy to be like the gang. We've all known each other our whole lives, and it's so easy to be like so open with each other and like messing around with each other. But like something that I've always noticed about you is like you're including Carla in things like if she's one of us. Like I mean, whatever. At this point, like it feels like she is exactly. But like it's never been like, not that anyone in the gang specifically is like against that, but you've always been somebody that's like I've noticed like you've tried to like make it a point to make sure that she feels included into everything. Like that means a lot to me.
Okay. I'm glad.
So that's another thing. And then finally, the last thing I have is funny. Every time we're with you, like, it's a fucking good time. Whether you're farting on me or shoving your toes in somebody's face.
That's the first thing you said.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really appreciate it.
No, of course. that is textbook. Kevin Trujillo is farting or smelly feet or the Hurricanes or football or something in that realm, or a mix of all of them. Or getting injured unprompted.
My feet have gotten less smelly as
Is that true?
Believe it or not.
As a father.
You smell them?
Not right now.
I have sandals on.
There you go.
Exposed.
There you go. So maybe I have. I don't know. I've stayed away from them for a while.
That's probably good.
But yeah, that's the end of my list of giving flowers to you. Of course, there's many other things that I've looked up to you for.
You covered a lot of them. I don't know how many there's left.
That may be every good quality you have, and that's it at the end of that list. But that's pretty much it. That's what we have for the episode. I hope you had a good time. I hope this was better than what you expected it would be.
It was. I was a little, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was stressed, but I was like, dude, like, what the fuck am I gonna talk about?
Yeah.
You know? And it's been like an hour and a half. It's been pretty easy, you know? It hasn't been like pulling teeth or anything.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's flowed pretty easily.
I think maybe we'll watch it back and I was like, wow, that's a fucking train wreck.
This is fucking boring as shit.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I was scared too, because I feel like a lot of times I do this at work when I'm doing presentations or stuff. Like, if there's a lull in the conversation, I'll jump in and just start talking like automatically and like not listen to the other person speak. And that's something I've like tried to be aware of this whole time.
Yeah,
to like
you
let
did
you
good.
speak.
You did good.
But yeah,
listen,
thank you.
You only jumped in once, and it cost me a question.
That's true.
So yeah,
I completely I screwed that part.
I had just finished saying I'm gonna think about this for 30 minutes if I need to. I took a sip because that's a tick, and you're like, "Fuck it, this guy doesn't know the answer." I'm gonna say it.
I screwed
So you
that
see, you
up.
only did it once.
I know.
That's not bad.
And listen, we get better each time. This is gonna be the worst
As
podcast
worse as
I
it
make.
gets.
Exactly.
Look at that.
From here it's
It was
only
a
up,
hit,
and it was
so,
great.
you know.
Hopefully, again, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see when we get back to it. Hopefully, it's been recording this whole time too. I've been over there. That would really suck.
Just mwah.
What I thought about though, if that stops recording the video itself, I have the full recording on audio. So if
Thank
not,
God.
do something creative,
Audio
show pictures of
podcast.
us. Exactly, make it an audio podcast if I have to. But that's pretty much it. So thank you for being on. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being my groomsman.
Thank you for the touching ending.
Thank you for being the big brother that that my parents never gave me. You know. So
thank you. That means a lot. It means a lot. I'm not one to, show much emotion. Oh, that's another thing. Circling back to the advice, show emotion a little bit. You know, I'm not a big emotion guy unless I'm
watching sports,
a little drunk or watching sports,
or mix of the two.
Or a mix of the two. You know, yeah, show a little emotion. Natalie gets really pissed off because I don't really talk that much. And I know, ironic because my big thing was communication, right? But make your feelings known because they like that shit. So, and it's important, right? Nowadays. So yeah, I don't remember why I started saying that, but
no, because I was saying that
important.
you were saying that it was a good ending, the touching ending.
Oh, it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I appreciate it.
So thank you for being the guinea pig as well. It's not easy to be the first podcast. You have no idea
hopefully
what this was going to be.
Somewhat of a decent bar, Hopefully it wasn't too low a bar.
No, I think you did great.
We'll see.
I think you did great. I again, like I mentioned, the worst technical podcast this may be, but our conversations were great, and every segment we had were good. Like
there's what 11 other people.
Yeah,
I'm confident.
I'm confident.
At least 11, and not 12.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly.
There's 12 and 12.
12 other people. Yeah,
So
exactly.
Somebody else will be 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And again, sorry for Gary for not getting picked for the song.
Sorry, Gary.
But yeah, this has been the 12 Delves podcast, the inaugural episode.
But do you remember the intro?
Let's try it. Let's do it. You go for you. Start
12
off.
zodiac signs.
12 months.
No, I fucked it up already. 12 inches in a foot.
12 months of the year.
12 zodiac signs.
Jesus' 12 apostles.
King Arthur's 12 knights at the round table.
And Lucas's 12 groomsmen. This has been 12 Delves. Thank you, Kevin.
That is impressive.
For being my brother. Thank you for being my groomsman. Thank you for coming to be on the podcast, being the first person. Peace out. We'll see you next episode.
Love that.
We fucking killed that, huh?
We did it. We did it.
That was fucking great.